When is your birthday? Millions or billions of us can effortlessly answer this question. It's a date etched in our memory, celebrated annually and laden with cultural significance. But what if that date and the day we emerge from our mother's womb into this world is not our birthday? This thought opens up the door to a profound philosophical and existential inquiry on when should you really celebrate your birthday. Let's look at this issue of born before birth and finding a more accurate birthday. Before we do that, we ask you to subscribe to our Hamiti Buru Ethics YouTube channel, to like, to share, to comment. We also invite you to enroll into our Bantu Foundation University so that you can study mystic systems, and you can reach us on our website shown here, as well as our website and well as our email. Let's say when you celebrate your birthday and that day is not a year that you were born. So when you know you were born before birth, you realize that you need a more accurate method of calculating your birthday, not a frivolous one. Because the human devised calendars are arbitrary. They are just constructs. Calendars are artificial systems created by humans to measure time, often based on celestial cycles like the solar year or lunar phases. While practical for other societal needs, they are inherently arbitrary to our birth and our origins on the earth. There are various calendars, various cultures that use different calendar systems throughout history: the Gregorian, the Julian, the Lunar, the Mayan, the Hamitic, the African, and many others. Each defines its year, months, days in very distinct and different ways. The calendars are very inconsistent. They've got leap years, time zones, and various adjustments like the Gregorian calendar that went through a lot of reform, showing that even widely used and accepted calendars are not universally consistent or tied to absolute truths. In this context, celebrating a birthday based on such a calendar system assumes that the chosen date has intrinsic significance, which it does not have. It's merely a convention detached from the physical and metaphysical realities of your life, because the calendar is also misaligned with your consciousness and life reality. From metaphysical perspective, life and consciousness are not constrained by arbitrary dates, but what are their fundamental units. So celebrating birthdays on the day one was born year after year is erroneous, since it ignores the physical origins of life, the gestation period or physical development, which begins in the womb, a critical stage of existence often disregarded in birthday celebrations. You were born before birth. A more accurate birthday is a must. So you need to know that from conception to birth and the stages of pregnancy, and that you disturbed your mother's menstrual cycle must be factored when you calculate your birthday. And the calendars that we have today, because they are based on an arbitrary 9 months, someone spent 10 months or 8 months or 7 months in the mother's womb, is ignored when you celebrate your birthday. From a biological standpoint, life begins before even conception, when a unique blueprint of DNA fuses later on. This, although it sets the stage for the growth and development of a human being, on a metaphysical or spiritual level, life begins even earlier, even before conception, perhaps as an eternal soul choosing to inhabit a physical form. But from where? From the waters of NyuNyu, as shown symbolically by the ankhs and its loop, which is the infinite potential, that wave that has collapsed to generate a soul and cross the dimensional divide and to be inserted into matter. Therefore, these souls generate from the waters of NyuNyu. That's why our priests and our thinkers used to show the ankh on the nose to show the divine spark, to show that there is a soul in this body, there's a soul in this matter. Then when it comes into the womb and eventually becomes matter and obeys the divine laws prescribed by the gods of reproduction, then you come out. But why do you celebrate birthday annually? because birthday is the day in each year which is the same date as the one on which you were born. That is erroneous, because whose birthday? Which one is celebrating that birthday? Your divine spark or your physical body? Even your physical body, the soul, the human body, matter, if it does so, it has trapped the soul in that matter. So celebrating and acknowledging your birthdays, especially using the day you were born year after year, is a confirmation that your divine soul or your spark or your soul is asleep, captured or trapped, but are being used now as an energy generator of the evil gods. We have dealt with this in many times. So what can you do? Even if you decide not to celebrate it year after year, you need to free your soul even from the acknowledgement of the year after year, which is primed into us by the system. You need to unwrap the truth on which day to celebrate your true birthday, not theirs. And this is where the primordial cycle age, PCA, comes handy, because it proves that you were born before birth. It gives a more accurate birthday that includes your gestation period as the baseline, because the gestation period is important. The primordial cycle age, PCA, is a philosophical, mystical, lunar-linked reality of your soul's journey and age on earth. In this life cycle, it leads to a deeper acknowledgement of your divine origins. But there is a two-step mathematical formula. We need to understand the PCA using that formula, mathematical formula, because the primordial cycle age will shift how you think about life by grounding your understanding of existence to primal connections and memorializing the time you spent in your mother's womb, which represents and which is the unit of the waters of NyuNyu, intimately connected to your physical connection to matter through the umbilical cord. Rather than arbitral cycles of the solar year, this perspective is very powerful because it is symbolic of the waters of NyuNyu, pointing to the real origins of your divine spark, and reminds you of the possible destiny if you remain awake or if you fall asleep in this life cycle. The waters of NyuNyu represent existence and cessation of consciousness via the laws of entropy or ceaseless recycling or reincarnation trait. So we need to understand that the PCA connects us to our original source. Traditional birthdays are based on the solar year, celebrating a calendar date that disconnects you from your biological reality. And the birth certificate that they issue you through the so-called maritime law, they are actually telling you that they've removed you from your original waters of NyuNyu and they've put you into their own maritime or waters themselves. That is the system that is running over the earth in every sphere of life. Want us to understand that. Very important. There are many scholars, many thinkers, and many teachers that have taught this maritime law, and now we are showing it to you using the PCA. In contrast, the PCA begins with the moment of your conception, and actually, instead of pointing it towards your physical birth, it actually also points you back to the waters of NyuNyu, right into the self-generation that the gods themselves engaged in. So in summary, here are more reasons why the primordial cycle age is critical. It highlights the sacredness of the womb. It acknowledges the monthly rhythm. It celebrates the struggle for existence. It offers a deeper connection to yourself. It disconnects you from soul thieves that have issued you a birth certificate or maritime certificate to capture your soul, so that they remove you from the waters of NyuNyu and put you into this world. So the womb, your mother's womb, and the umbilical cord is symbolic of your connection to the waters of NyuNyu. So here is a simple formula to calculate your own primordial cycle age. This is the formula, and here are the explanations. They are very detailed, they are very complex, but they have been reduced to a simple formula. We can go through them if you get in touch with us, and we'll explain to you how they can be used to calculate your PCA birthday. This is where you start off. You first of all calculate your primordial cycle age, and when you get your primordial cycle age, you then use your primordial cycle age to calculate your primordial cycle birthday based on the number of months that you spent in your mother's womb. This is now coming to the culmination, and then here someone born in 1970 on a specific date has now 72 primordial cycle age given to him there. And then this is the figure that we take to calculate your primordial cycle age birthday. It varies and changes every year. So there are steps to calculate your primordial cycle age birthday. So you determine your date of conception. The formula will guide you to do that. And once that has been given, then you can go on to calculate your primordial cycle age and then factor in your birthday that changes year after year. And if you are interested in the actual calculations, you can send us an email on john@marifado.org. Label your email PCA birthday, or if you label it PCA only, we'll give you your age today. But if you want how to find your birthday year after year, you can say also specify. Now, if we shift our perspective to embrace the primordial cycle age, where life begins before conception or even earlier into the chasm, it fundamentally alters how we view not only our age, but also our connection to cosmic and astrological systems. Here is why the zodiac signs or horoscope months completely differ when you use your primordial cycle age. The flaws of the solar calendar in the zodiac becomes clear, because the widely used astrological calendar is tied to the Gregorian solar calendar, dividing the year into 12 equal parts based on the apparent path of the sun, the ecliptic. But that is misaligned cosmically, because cosmic energy influence and start before your conception. They start in your other life. So the astrological signs are just giving you the assignments that you have in a solar calendar now. They no longer become accurate, because once you know your PCA, it will remove you from the influence of the systems that gave you the calendar. For example, a person born in April, Aries, might actually be influenced by the zodiac energies of July, Cancer, when they were conceived, because you have to learn more on the realignment with your PCA. If you are interested, send us an email to join@marifado.com. PCA again realigns your totemic influence to conception. Totemic systems like the zodiac and other archetypes like animal totems, plant spirits, or elemental guardians are often tied to solar calendars or birth dates. However, if life began before conception and at conception rather than at birth, you need to recalculate and know which influences surrounds you. So you have to create a primordial cycle age aligned to your totemic chart. This will reflect your conception, your preconception, your gestation, and your birth cycles. And then you can connect these phases with the corresponding totemic influences. This chart will help map the influences of cosmic, seasonal, and elemental energies at different stages of your life journey. We can do the totemic reading. If you are interested in it, you know the email to send your requests. Last but not least, if you know your primordial cycle A, you will not return to entropy in the system or in eternity. Entropy is the law of decay and disorder in physical systems, but it is also a metaphysical law that applies to your source journey and purpose on earth. If it becomes stagnant, unaware, asleep, disconnected from its source or purpose, when you leave this body, physical body, in death, you will be eaten by Amut, your ultimate fate. For those who are asleep, who are ignorant, who are celebrating wrong birthdays, connecting to different spirits, different sources, those who have failed to awaken to their true potential, true purpose, or awaken their soul, or awaken their divine spark, or resisted spiritual growth, they cannot escape entropy and the destructive forces of the universe. The key lies in awakening to your primordial cycle age and mastering the cycles of life, death, and rebirth, and celebrating the correct and true birthday if you so wish, or acknowledging your age and your cycle through the PCA calculations. If you are interested, do not hesitate. Send us an email. Label it PCA or PCA birthday. There is more to this that we have left. In future videos, maybe we shall share more. This video is part of our Bantu mysteries that we are giving a lot of people to test how far we go in the mysteries. Again, if you are interested, continue subscribe to our channel, like our videos, enroll into our Bantu University to study Bantu foundations that will lead you to study Bantu or African or melanin dominant mysteries. May the gods protect you, and may the ancestors give you a louder call. Your manager to preach by LM Mjaganja says, yes, your primordial cycle age is critical. It's a component that you need, not today, but yesterday. Ameni.